everyone. I'm just feeling really good today, and I'm really excited to get down with it and start this Archangel Michael channeling because I've really felt his energy coming in right before this, really just kind of bathing in it, and it felt really good. Like I've always associated with his energy with feels really good, and it feels really grounding, and like it just opens the heart and relaxes you, and it feels awesome. But I'm just gonna wait for a few more of you to come on live, and it's gonna be really exciting. If you're watching from YouTube, you can request to join my group, Awaken with the Angels. Just really fun, and we get to do these lives and stuff. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna tell a little bit of a story of how I kind of got associated with Archangel Michael a little bit, and how I called him forth to help me in my life, and just a little bit, just before we get into the channeling. And I think it's really go hi Yale and Rita and a bunch of you here. Awesome. Okay, so I've always just kind of called Archangel Michael forth, especially when I'm in low vibrational environments. I really need his help a lot. And I've just, ever since I was little, I was always kind of drawn to him. And my mother was like, yeah, just call on Archangel Michael and stuff like that. I didn't really believe in him that much, but I was like, all right, I'll just call him in and stuff. Just for him to help me out. And he did. And just helped me out. And I remember when I hit rock bottom, when I hit a really hard time in my life, a really low vibrational place, he helped me so much in that place. Like he was there with me the whole time, helping me with that the entire time. Especially like when I first awakened and stuff, he was there the whole time. And I felt his energy on the side of my head, like really strong, like all the time, guiding me literally all the time. I was like, what energy is this? I just didn't know what energy. I didn't know if it was good or bad, but then I finally found out it was Archangel Michael, and I was like, whoa, that's super cool. And my guardian angel, Peter, of course. But it felt really good, and I was in that really low vibrational space at one point when I hit rock bottom, and I saw this book. I was opening this book, and it was like a book of pictures in the Louvre, like sculptures and pictures in the Louvre that famous museum in France, and I saw him in a statue form stabbing this serpent, and I thought it was really cool. And at that time, I was a really hard time in my life, and I was dealing with a lot of harassment by negative energies because they were using this harassment to try to get me to go in a better direction. Like, because I was addicted to certain substances, and for them to guide you away from those, they have to let things harass you a certain amount so that you will go off in a different direction, in a more healthy direction. But I think that's really cool. And then when I saw that picture, it kind of stood out to me, like he was stabbing that serpent, and it was really cool. And I went to sleep that night, and I had an out-of-body experience, and I saw this serpent, and I stabbed the serpent in the dream, and Archangel Michael was there. And it was really cool, and it was cool, but it was really scary at the time, of course. But now I know I'm not fearful of that stuff anymore. But yeah, it's just a kind of a cool story. I'm not really at that place where I was anymore. I just feel a lot better and feel like I don't ever deal with any negative energies like that anymore. I feel almost like my vibrational frequency doesn't attract things like that anymore, and I feel a lot better. A lot more heart-centered and a lot more at peace, which is really cool. All right. Hello. Yeah. I'm just going to tap in and see what he has to say. And I never was really super connected with Archangel Michael at first. I kind of called him into my life to help me a lot. I was more connected to Archangel Metatron and his energy, because he has that more of a off-planet energy, kind of a ET energy a little bit. And Archangel Michael has helped ground me a lot, like around my friends. He'll put his hand on my front and a hand on the back of me, and literally ground me the whole time if I'm around some of my friends that aren't are more ungrounded. and it helps me stay more grounded, or more around ungrounded people. He helps me stay more grounded. That's a very important thing in my life, and I feel like he's going to talk about being grounded in this channeling. That's the feeling I got from it. I'm just going to tell him to come in a little closer and a little stronger. Yeah, I get a real like zen feel from him. He's just kind of smiling, and he's ready to get going and into this channeling. He's like, why haven't you channeled me on camera yet? He's like, you channeled every single other person, but every other archangel, but you're not even gonna channel me. I'm like the best one. That's what he's kind of acting like, I feel. He's really coming into my ear chakras now, and it feels really good. And he's kind of saying, like, don't give up in life, or like sometimes we aren't at a space in life where we want to be, but that doesn't mean anything necessarily, because everything is multidimensional. Everything can switch in a moment. It's pretty cool. He's saying it might be difficult to perceive that at a certain time or certain times in the moment of where you're at in life, or overthinking it almost. And he's saying that even me in my life, I'm like, okay, where do I go next? And I kind of doubt myself at times, where I'm like, okay, I don't know if I want to go forward with this. Do I keep doing this? Do I keep pushing forward? And do I keep going forward with this and going where it feels good? But it's almost like having that faith is what I'm getting from him, having that faith and that trust that you will get there. And now he's going on to saying it's not even about the destination. It's not even about where you get or wanting to get somewhere. It's about staying in the moment and where it feels good here right now. That's why it's so important to go within and be anchored in that self-love and just know that you are light, I feel. And he's also, he's talking about it's not that serious, this lifetime. We're just here. But he's saying, why don't we just give it our best shot? Why don't we just take some risks or do just what we want to do? Because we have this lifetime. We might as well enjoy it. He's talking about going within, how that develops your intuition. It develops who you are. You find who you are more. It's like almost like I feel, how are you supposed to know what to do in your life and know what to do, what decisions to make and stuff if you have no clue who you are? If you have no clue, like you're just around other people all the time or something, and you just don't know what's going on. If you haven't gone within at all. It's almost like you're making decisions off something you aren't even really, So he's talking about like going within is really important with finding your intuition and making decisions, because you start to find who you are and you start to love who you are more. And that gives you a sense of like stability and like confidence and consistency, and it doesn't make you as hesitant. See, like with me, I feel like he really wants me to say this part about with me. Like I feel I'm a younger person, and I'm not as grounded as a lot of older people because it takes time to get grounded at times. But you will get scattered. He's also like told me in the future I will get scattered in my life. I will get ungrounded at times. And I'm going to have to try my best to be grounded. Even if he's also said it's important for me to be around the grounded people, but he's also says that I can't rely on those grounded people to stay grounded. I have to find that within myself, and it's going to take time, and it takes time. And yeah, it's kind of a cool journey, you know. You get to feel more grounded within yourself. And he also saying when you're more grounded, when you're more anchored in your own energy, you can do many things with your projects. I could do multiple YouTube channels or multiple projects or things if I'm more grounded. And then he's talking about moving to a place where you are loved, moving to a place and in a location where you are liked or loved, or where you fit in, or or taking advantage of the places where you live. So for example, if I live in the US and there's so many different places to live in the US, why not find the most beautiful place, most high vibrational place to live there? One of the most, just throwing that out there. And I think that's cool. And he's just saying that's part of knowing your worth as a light worker, as a person on this planet, is just really kind of like getting forth and knowing what you want and going and getting it, because we don't know what we don't know, and our perceptions are very limited here at times when we look in the ego or the mind, and we might not never know the perspective of things, but if we follow our heart, it will lead us there, of what our soul truly wants. And I feel that our guides have a different perspective, and that they can lead us to a place, and we will know when we go there, we will start to feel a whole lot better, and we never would have saw it before. We never ever would have saw it before, which is pretty cool. Let's see where he wants to go next. I feel he's also talking about communicating and connecting with energies. He's just saying it's wise to connect with the angels. It's wise to connect with our guardian angels, our archangels, because a lot of us have that ET energy, and if we're always connecting to that ET energy, we may never get grounded here on Earth. So it's important to find energies that are more grounding, like Mother Earth or things like that. And he's saying the way we're moving on Earth is evolving. We are doing more things. We are connecting with different energies, more energies, different things. And I feel that's a huge step in this ascension process, is we are connecting with all these energies of everywhere, and that we also get to connect to the Earth. And I feel what he's also trying to convey is in the past it was difficult or different at times. It was more connecting to the Earth, or like shamanism or things like that, just connecting to the Earth. And that's such a beautiful energy to be connected with or grounded with. But also, it's almost saying we have the resources, we have the advancement of technology to be able to connect with whatever we want, whatever ETs we want, anything we want. We have the time to do it. We don't have to be so grounded at times, scavenging for food and being in the moment. So he's talking about the connection between the Earth and also the divine above, or the energies above or outside the planet, or source and so forth. those energies all connect and meet here in the heart. And to be most connected to both of those at the same time, it is very important to be connected into the heart and to be stable here in the heart. Because that's who we find who we are. That's who we find more of who we are. And the more we find of who we are, the more our higher self comes in, the more a lot of things happen. And we start to be able to access these energies more intensely at a higher vibrational frequency. So we get to, absorb more of this light frequency the more we find of who we are, whether it's from above or whether it's from the earth. He's talking about lowering your activity and your mind and bringing that to a stillness. He's saying you might be surprised what you do find within yourself. He's saying you will be surprised how much depth is within you, how much love and light is within you. And he's kind of pointing out, even before this live, I was feeling so thankful, so grateful for the depth that this reality has provided for me and how much I've got to discover in myself. It's really, really cool. Because a lot of people don't get to do this. A lot of people don't get to be a light worker or discover this part of themselves. He's just saying, what is next? What is next for you in your life? He's also saying, do you want to make the action steps, the changes in your life? And he's also talking about, okay, the angels have a higher perspective on things. Okay, they predict that this might happen with you. We don't really see you doing that because we don't think you might not be ready for it. But it's almost like they do that to me because I know when people tell me when I can't do something. When I can't do something, that's when I really want to do it, or I want to prove someone wrong, or really just want to do it. When someone challenges me or something, and I think that's cool. It's funny. He'll like to answer some of your questions, and I think I see a few of them here. Yes. That's funny. Tenzin just saw a white feather. Okay. Katie, Hushna, I'm not sure if that's how you pronounce it, but no, I can't fully see Archangel Michael. I'm just channeling, for the most part, clairaudiently and claircognizantly. That's the main way that I am doing it this time. Does Archangel Michael have a message for me at this time for Katie? He's talking about how you already know where you're supposed to go at times. You already know the path that you're supposed to take. They would love for you to connect with them more and to call them in more. To help you and to just communicate with them at times. Also, being in that stillness, bringing your mind to stillness, being in that space of stillness, and saying, I love myself, I can do whatever I want, just having those positive things in the stillness, those positive affirmations, saying them on the side over here, or and he's also saying, like, loving yourself, you get to know yourself more when you do that. You get to see inside of yourself more when you go within and be who you truly are. Because you're embracing that part, that who you are. You not, like, when you're loving who you are, you're embracing that, and it brings it out in your life. And he's also saying you might be confused at times as well, like with spaces of what direction to go in your life, or this or that. But he says it's important to stay in the moment, and it's important to, give the angels time, give yourself time to create that thing in your life, whatever you're looking for, whether it's a career or a certain situation. That's pretty cool. All right. Krishna is saying she has an ET guide that has tried connecting with her. I feel it's male, and it is connecting with you. Arcturian, I think. Arcturian. Yes, and I think he has a message. Oh, it's kind of cool. He's just saying he likes connecting with you, and you can call on him in whatever you want, and that he has had lifetimes with you here on Earth, but also in a different space, a different planet. And he says he enjoys being with you and your soul, which is funny. Spirit guide. With Pat, I don't feel there's a huge change coming within your life. I feel like it's almost, for Patty, I feel like it's like there's a time to do things, and now is not the time. The time now is to really focus within who you are, focus on your spirituality, loving yourself, getting grounded, relaxing, resting, and that everything else comes into play afterwards. It's almost like you have to learn the being before you have to do the doing. Learn how to be in that state of consciousness where all I am is just in that stillness. I am being, like, I just love saying that. And after that, the doing comes after, because you find out the being within you. You find the beingness within you. And other things follow in the future. But they're excited for you. That's funny. Bertha is asking, what are some of my gifts? And am I meant to use them in this life? Well, I think you already know the answer to that. I think everyone has a divine birthright to be able to, communicate with spirit or do any of this. And also, I feel there's a bit of doubt with your question, a little bit like, oh, I know I've enjoyed it so far, basically, what I've done, or I've opened up enough, but, I feel like it's not going anywhere right in this moment. It takes time to develop these gifts. And by the way, I think your clairvoyance is even, it's better than mine. And I can just tap in to see what they have to say about this. And I'm just getting clairvoyance. And they're also saying Arcturians are good at this telepathic communication on Earth. But they're saying with you, it's more to focus, not so much on the analytical mind all the time, because you already have that developed to the point where it's very, very, very developed. And there's different parts of yourself that you can develop, whether it's your depth within yourself, your heart, knowing yourself more, being in that state of peace. And coming from that space when you're channeling, it's a whole different ball game. It's great, and people are attracted to that light within you. The Arcturian, they have an advantage, is what I'm hearing, in certain things on here on Earth. Whether it's school or whether it's their careers or making abundance. But they're saying that the Earth, it's moving more in a different direction. Almost like where the Arcturians thrived here in the 3D a lot. And that's great for the most part. But now we're moving into a space on the new Earth where everything's more transparent, everything's more heart, everything's more Palladian, the Palladian new Earth, basically. That's what I like to call it sometimes, the 5D. And it's more transparent, it's more in the heart, which I've noticed. Which is just the many things, it's just one of the main things I feel ETs, why they come to Earth, is to learn more of your emotions, learn more of your heart. And I already feel like you're just such an advanced soul, you're already on this path, and you're already going on that path. They're saying give yourself credit for what you've come already, and don't be down on yourself because you're not at a certain place you want to be. Because they're saying the way that you channel, the way that you are at this moment is great. It's amazing. I say this all the time. I'm like, sometimes I doubt myself every once in a while, and I have an old tendency of being a little bit stagnant. And they'll say, oh, the way you channel is amazing and it's perfect, and we love the way you channel. Just because you're not, different people are going to be attracted to different things. So some people are going to be trans channeling and they're so really up in the head or very precise in this and this. But if it doesn't have a lot of emotion behind it, if it doesn't have a lot of meaning behind it, sometimes people are not going to be attracted to it. So sometimes it's good to, discover that part of yourself, to build that depth, to build that light within, building that light with online as well. As the angels like to say that build your light online if you want to be like an influencer, I guess. So yeah, just expanding your light. It almost like spreads your light across a lot of different areas online, which is cool because we never had this before. Online's like a newer thing in this reality. Any message from Archangel Michael? I asked him to live with me a while ago. Lisa is asking. And I want to ask a few more questions. There's a lot more questions, but I'm going to answer a few more questions, and then I'm going to channel about for 10 more minutes or so, or 15 more minutes or so with Archangel Michael. With Lisa, I feel he's not concerned with you at all. Like, he's not concerned about anything. There's not a sense of worry or anything. And he's just saying he's there with you at this time. He's also saying with you, don't doubt for a moment that you are connecting with spirit. Don't doubt for a moment that you know that they're in your home. Don't second guess yourself. You are there. You are there. He's almost saying, even if you can just blindly follow the faith and the trust for a little bit, that and confidence, just know that's a great thing to do as well. Because the ego does the opposite thing, it will blindly follow doubt and fear. So if you want to just trust and anchor and trust in who you are, that's a great thing as well. Even if you have to blindly follow it without knowing what's going to happen. No one knows what's going to happen. Katia is saying, does Archangel Michael see me finding a job in the future? What should I search for? I don't feel you should search for a job. I'm feeling this job is going to be brought to you in a certain way, and you are going to take that job. Like, they are going to bring this job into your life. And they're just kind of lighting up. They're just lighting up when I say spirituality. And they would love for you to go in some kind of direction, whether it may be spirituality on the side or anything. And just develop that part of yourself, even if it's not a job. I don't think having this as a job is meant for everyone. And also, it takes time to build. Like, for me, it took me 2 years to just kind of work on myself and do that inner work on myself and feel really good. And then at a certain point, I was like, all right, I'm feeling like I'm decent, pretty good, and I think I should just step up and do it now. It's almost like that. Let's see what other things they have to say. They want you to rest, almost. Just rest. And then they're also asking you a question saying, what do you feel? Where do you want to go? Where do you want? What do you want in your life? And whatever you want, make that request for them and they will help you. That's cool. And they're saying it's wise to choose something that's more high vibrational with your job or in a certain sort, or to find something that's more high vibrational or something that's high vibrational, because they will be able to help in bringing this into your life easier and more easily than something that's not aligned with your highest good. That's cool. Yeah, I feel Jesus here for you as well, Katia. That's cool. I feel him on my nose a lot, tickling my nose. He's saying he would love to communicate with you, just come in and comfort you and be there with you. And Jesus is always good at bringing in the abundance. If you ask for abundance, and it'll come in like the strangest way. He's saying he's like working behind the scenes to get something happening for you, which is cool. Alrighty. I'm struggling with eating healthy. Does he have any advice, or can he help me with this? Will he smack me on the head when I reach for junk food? Okay, what I feel is almost like even if they tell you not to eat the junk food, you just kind of do it anyways. So it has to be a decision from you as well. Like, they can influence you, influence your thoughts, and things and cravings, and say, and come in. Like, I know when I go and eat something that I probably shouldn't be eating, sometimes they'll come into my ear and be like, that's probably not best. I'm like, okay, I can either eat this or not. So you can ask them to help you with that. I've noticed our spirit guides are very good with our diets. So that's one of the reasons that we have them, is different ETs have the different genetics as in their human bodies, different blood types and so forth, and they help us with our diets. So if you call in your spirit guides to help you with that, that would be really good. I'm going to see just one quick message and see what he has to say about that. He's also saying don't be so hard on yourself. It's not supposed to be hard. It's supposed to be easy. He doesn't want you to be restrictive in terms of what you eat. Have an abundance of foods that are healthy for you, that you can cook, and he's saying we can help you with this. You can call in us for this to help you with this. He's talking about some people are so hard on themselves about being restrictive or this and that, but it's important to live life and to the fullest and eat high vibrational foods in abundance, and also them to be healthy foods. He's almost talking about we can eat more food if we eat the healthier food, and if we're going to eat the really calorie dense food that's not very good for us, then it's not going to be as gratifying. He's also talking about you feeling better in the future once you make these changes, once you make these decisions, just feeling a lot better in your body. All right. Hushna is saying, how do we communicate with Archangel Michael? Does he say, keep calm, my child? Yes, I've heard him say stuff like that, so it wouldn't surprise me. He said something like that. I think he's also saying that to say, you're safe with me here. You can just ask me to be in your home, to be your protector. You don't have to second guess things, and that he's there with you. I'm just getting a strong sensation around my third eye. He's saying it is him, just hanging out. And he wants you to do this more often, just call in the energies, or whether it's me channeling an energy or call in his energy to be able to communicate with them. Over time, you'll develop this skill. It's not hard. Alrighty. We have, I think I'm going to do 2 more questions, and then I'm going to channel him for a good bit. How can I hear my angels' responses better? I feel their presence when I talk to them by pressure and tingling on my crown. All right. For you, they're just saying it's a matter of time before it expands more. And they're also recommending, right when I heard this question, I saw Kristen Davies' mediumship course, and I'll help teach with the next one, as well as Ashley Cunningham. She's amazing. Yele was in the last one, in this 102, and he helped everyone so much. He was really awesome. And it's really fun, easy to connect with other people, really easy to channel on camera. It's not a big deal, and it's really fun. It's all relaxed and all fun and games. And your channel's open a lot if you do those courses. And it would be a good next step for you. But they're also saying if you choose not to do this, it's fine. Your channels will still open, and we can still, if you still attempt to communicate with spirit, it'll happen over time, but it takes time. They're saying it's time to go, almost like if you join one of these courses or start channeling It's when you're making action steps to move forward into, okay, I'm going to channel on camera with this person, that person, we're going to practice together and get this going. When you make those action steps, your channels open a lot faster because you're getting uncomfortable. You're putting yourself in a situation where you grow, which is basically it. Okay. Okay, last question for here, and then I'm going to still channel a lot of his stuff. Which guide is more around me the most? Any message for me? I'm getting your guardian angels. Guardian angels are around you the most, but I can ask what spirit guide is around you the most. Okay. I feel this guide is like a blue avian type of energy. That's one of the things and I feel like a male frequency, like kind of strong. He's kind of like puffing his chest out almost, and he's just there for you. And I feel you've had lifetimes together as well. And that's a common trait, is they've had lifetimes with us as in this reality, and a lot of times they've had lifetimes with us in a different realm. He's talking about you finding inner peace, finding that inner peace within yourself. That joy, that just peace and stillness. He really thinks this is a really important thing. He's just saying that, especially during this time. He's talking about things ramping up in the future, and it's sometimes harder to find that peace, so why not try to build it now, almost. Give yourself that head start, is what he's saying, of finding that inner peace, that stillness, that meditation. And I feel you've had lifetimes with him, just as that's cool. I feel as like mates, as friends, and then also as soulmates. Okay, that's what I was trying to say. Okay. All right, it's getting hot over here. Getting a little sweaty. I might get to your question later, Rhonda, but now I'm going to channel a little bit more from Archangel Michael. I feel he has some more stuff to say. But before that, I'm gonna drink some water. Okay. That's cool. He is kind of saying like my children, almost. Like what whoever was saying that earlier. Hushna. You are my children. I'm there for you. He's almost saying he keeps two eyes on us at all times when we call him forth in any situation we need him in. And I've always kind of I've gotten really familiar with this frequency, but I don't even realize he's there a lot of the time. He'll just be there. And that's cool. He's like always there. or at least a part of his energy is. He's talking about even if there's no apparent reason that you need him there, he'll always be there for you. He'll always be there to comfort you, or be there to help ground you, or to make you feel better. And he's talking about he can't wait. Like, he's just so ecstatic about our paths going forward, and about the new earth, and about our soul's journeys, about that we get to incarnate here again, a lot of us, and to experience this new earth. And in this lifetime, we get to experience a lot as well. Talking about feeling, embracing that inner child, allowing it to just come up and just be creative and express itself in all forms. And he's talking about like a meditation, about just asking your inner child to come up and express itself, and imagine it going out into the world in like these little light balls of light. And not even trying to control it or do anything, just allowing these balls of light to shoot out of your heart center in all different directions. Really allowing them to express itself in any way possible, because, I feel our beings are so much more expansive than we think they are from this perspective. So if we just allow it to express itself at times, and be in spaces that allow us to grow, it really, gets us to go. There's a question that really just stood out to me, but I'll read it in a second. I think it's all about the journey. It's all about the journey. Just be in the moment. Be in that stillness. Really just allow the worries, the doubts, just to be pushed aside. And walk in between the waves. Almost like Moses, how he split the ocean? Just walk down that path. He's talking about this is not fake. This is not like woo-woo or whatever. Just almost, I feel like it's just like a sensation where, okay, this really stuff does really work. If we follow their lead and follow our hearts for the most part. He's also saying there will be a time where people come together in all ways. Nations will come together, and this will be a great time. Especially in the higher realms and the higher densities. It's going to be so pleasant, so amazing. And we'll kind of look down, or not look down, we'll look across and see the other densities of the lower ones and be like, okay, it's almost like you don't see them almost, because you're so focused on the light and then your own frequency in the higher realms. And he's going on to say one more thing about happiness, which is just, it is possible to be so joyful, so have that depth of joy and happiness. It's possible to have that on earth, to be able to experience these emotions for long periods of time, this peace, this happiness, this complacency in who you are. And I never thought that was possible on Earth. I thought that when you're 3D, you just kind of know that you think that everything isn't, a lot of things aren't possible. Like everything, there's some bad things in life and can't control them and stuff like that. But it's not like that. I feel Jesus wants to come in a little bit at the end. All right, I'm gonna get to what is the purpose of wrongdoers. Well, I'm gonna say my own little spiel on this, and I'm gonna talk about narcissists a little bit, just because a lot of times the role of the narcissist helps you grow a lot, and they really push you to grow, and they're there to stir the pot, to stir up the energy, so that you will go into a better direction. They teach us more about ourselves, and especially the empaths, and that feel a lot, feel who they are. And everything is there for a reason, to play that role. Okay, I'm just gonna see what else he has to say about this. He's talking about not putting your focus there upon that subject, almost. It's there, but it's almost important to focus on the light of who you are more. And as you raise in vibrational frequency, these wrongdoers in your life, they won't no longer be there, or they don't no longer affect you anymore, because you have that self-worth, you have that trust. Take it in your own hands, almost creating that reality for yourself, so that these little wrongdoers over here, they can't really touch you anymore, because you have that self-worth, and you know who you are, and you're not putting yourself in situations when you're around them a lot. All right. Okay. I'm going to leave one little message for Ursula, and then I will go on to channel Jesus a little bit, which will be cool. He's saying don't be too hard on yourself, is the feeling I'm getting. He's talking about how you're a gentle soul, and that it's important for you to have that comfort in your life. He's talking about how you've grown over time, and that you've grown to be more tough in certain ways as well. But he's saying where you thrive is when you extend and express yourself freely. Know this. He's saying know this. Cherish this part of yourself. We had a very soothing feel from him. He's also saying give yourself time. Give yourself time for things to manifest. He's talking about knowing that you are worth it. Knowing that you are worth it. Your life is worth it. You are worth it. You have that. You are worth it to the world, and you have a lot to give to the world. And it's just a matter of saying. And it's almost a matter of saying, oh, I don't have to do things, but I can if I want, and I can make it a big difference in people's lives or my own life. And he's just saying whatever path you take, he's so supportive of that, and that no matter what you do, he's so supportive. And we all have that free will to do whatever we want and to be here on earth, whatever brings us the most happiness in this lifetime, because on our next lifetime, you may do something else. All right. that's all I'm going to do for Archangel Michael here today, and I'm going to relay one little message for Jesus, and this is going to be cool. Because I did feel him coming earlier. I feel he wants to speak on something. He's kind of putting his hand on my shoulder. He's like, "How you doing, brother?" I've always gotten that like brotherly feel from him, or like almost to a point of where like a fatherly figure in my life from Jesus. It's cool. And he's just really proud of me for stepping forward and may not knowing where I want to go, but just to step forward in different situations and pushing myself, because he knows that I will fall back into a stagnant place if I don't keep, pushing forward. But then he's also going on to say, once I get more grounded in the future, that I won't have to be worried about going back into a stagnant place. But he's almost saying I'm not around the curve yet. It takes time. It takes time to get around the curve. He's also applauding me because I try my best to give my heart to the world and expand through my heart and give that energy for all to see, to shine as bright for all to see. And it wasn't expected of me at first. He's talking, I feel like he just wants to say one or two things about people in your life that are wrongdoers, or you would say called a narcissist or something. And he's saying they play a role, and that sometimes they don't play a role after a time. Usually they're just meant to play a role for a certain amount of time, and then, okay, now I'm supposed to go on my own path and expand and grow. It's important to know when to realize this. Go off on your own path. He's showing me like a picture of the whole earth just filling up with light, and just a comforting feeling, like there's nothing to worry about. Everything is saved in this earth. Love wins. Love has won. He's also asking us to tap into his frequency and the Christ consciousness frequency as well. Knowing that we can freely tap into this energy anytime we feel. And he's saying he's offering himself to us to assist us in any way we would like at this time. He's offering out his hand almost, like I've seen those pictures where he's offering out his hand. He's like, "Come with me." I feel such a peace, just such a peace. He says, "Many of you know my message of peace, of peace be with you, of peace, of inner peace." he like stands by this, like he knows that this frequency is so powerful, and that is so grounded, is so like knowing who we are. He's talking about just being at peace, just to be yourselves. He's talking about the light just shining down and really showing the transparency and everything, like just showing the truth and everything. That's really cool. I'm not getting a whole lot of messages. I'm just getting a lot of peace. That's really cool. All right, well, that seems pretty fun. And I'm going to see what time it is on here. Oh, rotating phone. Okay. 1. All right. I'm going to go ahead and sign off here. I'm getting a little floaty feeling almost. But I really thank all of you for coming on and watching. This has been really cool to answer all your questions, a lot of the questions, and it's pretty fun. Yale says, great session. Thank you, Paul, Jesus, and Archangel Michael. Rhonda, I'm getting a little tired, so I'm going to sign off here, and thank you all for coming on. It's been really fun, and I'll see you next time. I'm probably going to be channeling someone else next, and then maybe after that, I was thinking about doing a live with Sharia about the Egyptian gods and goddesses, which is a really cool topic to do that on. But yeah, have a really fun day. Bye, everyone.